This is the SnowDogg MD75 on the 2018 Ram. This is the second series SnowDogg they've made for these trucks. They're specifically made for small light-duty trucks. They have a lot of different brackets for the plow to mount to. I don't have a whole lot of bad things to say about this plow. Let's go over the good things. So what I do like about this plow is when you take off the plow, the whole assembly comes off, including the pump, the lights, I mean everything. And it's a very, very clean looking setup. You know, you don't have anything hanging out looking gaudy. So, you know, the plugs aren't very noticeable. They did have to trim the bottom of my bumper just slightly to get this mount to fit. I'd say about 1 inch off the bottom bumper. Hardly noticeable. I wouldn't even worry about it. I do not have a leveling kit on this truck. I don't have anything other than these aftermarket rims and tires. It does okay. If you had a bunch of lots with hills, you'd probably want to do a leveling kit or something to get you a little more clearance, because there has been a couple times that I have bumped the bottom. I'll try to see if I can get it on here for you. The bottom part of the mounts, which is that right there. I did bump that on the ground, but it was, I mean, very few times. You can see how much clearance there is there. That's with the plow on the ground. It does squat a little bit when you lift the plow up. I can lift it up for you so you can see. But I haven't had any issues. Let me show you the controller. So this is the controller. Really simple. This just turns it on and then go up. Let me show you what it looks like. And that's with it off the ground. There's still plenty of ground clearance in the wheel well. And virtually the same amount of distance off the ground. If you're just doing regular driveways without a bunch of hills, I wouldn't worry about a leveling kit or anything to that nature. But this has been a good plow for me. I like this plow. Like I said, I don't have a lot of things bad to say about it. The one thing I don't like about it, it's supposed to have a quick disconnect. It's hard to show you on the camera, but basically you're supposed to just kick this foot pedal here, and it takes both your pins on each side simultaneously with a spring in the middle, and it pops those pins into the holes onto the mount. In theory, it's a good idea, but I can never seem to get it lined up perfectly. I usually wind up messing with it. To be honest with you, I would prefer to just have pins that you slide in yourself on the side, because it would make your life a lot easier. I'm not a big fan of that setup. If I could do away with it, I would. Unfortunately, I can't. It's not the end of the world. You can work around it. It's nice that you won't lose your pins, but it is kind of a pain. Like I said, I've never been able to have it line up perfectly where I could actually get those pins in with one kick of the foot. I usually always have to get underneath there with the screwdriver or something to wiggle them around to get them to go through the holes and seat properly. But yeah, I like this plow. I'd recommend it for light duty trucks. Most places you can get it between $4,500 and $5,500 installed out the door with taxes. That's the whole shebang. I wouldn't hesitate. I think it's a good plow. I mean, for light duty, as long as you're not out here doing a bunch of crazy parking lots. I did do some small parking lots with it. It handled it just fine, honestly. I wouldn't worry about the plow as much as I was worried about me having the smaller motor in this truck. But even with the smaller motor, I was still pretty impressed. I really didn't have any issues. Obviously, more power is always better, but you can do it with the 6-cylinder. Just, you know, you got to take your time and you got to know what you have. You can't expect to be pushing huge mounds in a mall parking lot with a little 6-cylinder. That's just not realistic. It would probably push a lot of stuff, but you know, it's a lot of extra wear and tear on the truck. But overall, the plow itself, the MD75 II by SnowDogg, it's a buyer's product. I highly recommend. And like I said, with the truck, it's a 2018 Ram. No modifications to suspension. It's doing fine. If you had a bunch of hilly driveways with drop-offs, you might you definitely want to, I shouldn't say you might, you definitely want to consider at least a leveling kit, maybe something else, because I think you're going to have some small problems bottoming out. But if you're just doing regular driveways, this setup will work great for you guys. So I hope this helps. If you guys have any questions about the plow or the setup on the truck, feel free to ask it in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer to the best of my knowledge. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next one.